Welcome to Mr. Schweitzer's Algebra 2 class.
Woo!
Okay, alright, so I'm using substitution to solve this. Right, this is the top part of section 1.6, solving systems algebraically. Alright, both of these are solved for y. What I'm going to do is replace the y with the negative 5x of the other equation. So that would be negative 5x equals 3x plus 8. So solve this for x, so I'm subtracting 3x from both sides.
Yep.
Divide by negative 8. And I get x equals negative 1.
C.
No x. Alright, now I take the x equals negative 1 and plug it into either equation. Let's use the simpler one.
Yep.
So I'm going to do y equals negative 5 times negative 1, which would be positive 5. So final answer, negative 1, 5.
That's pretty simple.
Yes. So we start with the simple ones and we get harder and harder. Alright, ready for B? B. Alright. Okay, so this one's the same way, right? Both of them are solved for y, so you just can set them equal to each other. So you can say 7x plus 4 equals negative 8x minus 11. Alright, you have a variable on both sides, so I'm going to move one variable to, I'm going to add 8x to both sides to get rid of the variable from the right-hand side. That's 15x plus 4 equals negative 11. Continue to solve it, subtract 4 from both sides. Divide by 15. And I get x equals negative 1. X equals negative 1. Take that, you just substitute either one. I want to put it in the one with the least number of negative signs. Most people make mistakes with negative signs. So 7 times negative 1 plus 4. So it'll be negative 7 plus 4, which is negative 3. So I have the ordered pair, negative 1, negative 3. Remember, it's always x first, then the y. Was there a question? You straightened her out?
Oh.
What? I thought somebody had a question. Ready for C?
I do.
What's the question?
So why didn't you put 7x in front of that first equation?
Alright. So what I have here are both equations are solved for y. So what I've done is replace this y.
But A wasn't solved for y?
No, I did the same thing. I did the same thing for A.
But I was saying like put 7x equals negative 8x minus 11.
Yeah, but you want the whole thing, not just pieces of it.
So you put 7x
Plus 4
plus 4
equals negative 8x minus 11.
Okay.
So you got to put the whole thing. So in A, there was only negative 5x. That's why it was just negative 5x on that.
Yes, sir.
Look at C.
Okay.
C, this one is not solved for y, but you can still use it. So what I'm going to do is take the one that is solved for y, and this means y is equal to 6x minus 2. So I'm going to replace the y with 6x minus 2. So it's negative 8x plus 4, parentheses 6x minus 2, equals negative 24. Yes?
Could you just solve it for y and do it that way?
Yes. And in this problem, it's not a big deal because you still don't have fractions. But I'm teaching you this way to avoid fractions. Okay, in this problem, you're not going to run into that in this problem. Like if you solve this for y, you don't have fractions. So you're good. All right. In fact, in example D is the same thing. All right. So go ahead and continue this. So it's negative 8x plus 24x minus 8 equals negative 24. So that's 16x minus 8 equals negative 24. Add 8 to both sides. Keep in mind, if they're on the same side of the equal sign, you don't change signs. Like you don't do plus 8 to this. Right? You don't do plus 8 under 24. It's just negative 8 plus 24 is 16. All right, continuing with this, so it'll be 16x equals negative 16. So x equals negative 1. take that information, plug it into the y equals equation. Y equals 6 times negative 1 minus 2. So that's negative 6 minus 2, so that's negative 8.
Hey, there's a lot of ones.
Yes, I think they just like the negative ones.
Anyway.
I don't remember if D is a negative 1 in there or not. Ready? D. Okay. Alright, so this one, the second equation is solved for y. So I'm going to take that and substitute it to the first equation. I'm replacing y. So it'll be negative 6x minus 6. I'm replacing the y with negative 3x minus 4. So I plug in the negative 3x minus 4 there. Equals 0. So it's negative 6x. Distribute the negative 6. So that's plus 18x plus 24 equals 0. Combine these. What's that? What's negative 6 plus 18? 12x.
Yeah.
Thank you. Subtract 24. Right, we want to isolate the variable. So I've got 12x equals negative 24. Divide by 12. And I have
Whoa.
negative 2. Go ahead.
Oh, that ain't right.
What's wrong?
What do you mean 24?
It is a 24.
24x.
Okay, it's a negative 6 plus 18.
You didn't add it to the 18?
But it's negative 6 plus 18. Negative 6 plus 18 is 12. Positive 6 plus 18 is positive 24. But this is negative 6 plus 18.
Okay. I get it.
Right? You don't change the signs when you're on the same side of the equal sign. Alright, so I'll plug in negative 2 into the y equals equation. So it's y equals negative 3 times negative 2 minus 4. So that's 6 minus 4, which is 2. So the order pair, negative 2, 2 is the answer. One more example. All right, ready? We're doing example 3A. So this one requires substitution. I'm going to plug in 4x for y in the second equation. So it'll be 12x minus 3 times 4x equals 0. So I got 12x minus 12x. What's 12x minus 12x?
It's 0x.
Okay, or just 0.
There's no solution.
One more try. Infinitely many. So that's a true statement. So if the variables disappear and you get a true statement, it's infinitely many. That is the end of the lesson.
Thank you.
Everybody say bye.
Oh.